Okay, so you know how sometimes you just really want to understand something big, like really get it?
Right, yeah,
This week you sent us a ton of articles about Sam Mendes and his big Beatles project, and it seems like he's going for exactly that kind of deep dive. But
definitely.
he's doing something pretty interesting. He's making 4 films instead of just one.
That is ambitious. 4 separate films, each one focusing on a different Beatle.
Mm.
John, Paul, George, Ringo, all coming out in April 2028.
Right. And when Mendes announced this whole thing at CinemaCon, he called the Beatles the most significant band of all time. You know how they just redefined culture?
Absolutely.
And I started thinking, how could you possibly fit all that in just one movie?
No kidding.
Mendes even said that he hopes this format will give us all a chance to really understand them more deeply.
Yeah,
And they seem to have a ton of access to material and resources for this project.
it's a huge opportunity for sure.
He called it an epic story for a new generation.
And building on that one thing that sets this apart from, all the other Beatles films we've seen. And the articles you sent had some really interesting stuff about all those.
Yes.
Is that this project has the full support of the Beatles estates and of Apple Corps,
Wow.
their multimedia company.
Yeah.
This is actually the first time they've ever given full rights to their life stories and their music for a big scripted film project.
That's incredible.
That kind of support, it just suggests that we're going to see something truly special. It's going to be a whole new level of authenticity.
Exactly. And Paul and Ringo are fully on board.
Mm-hmm.
And so are the families of John and George.
Which speaks volumes, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With that level of trust involved, this can't just be, some superficial retelling of the same old story.
Right.
It makes you wonder what kind of new things we might learn about them by seeing each of their journeys individually.
For sure.
Plus, there's already so much excitement about the casting. We've got Harris Dickinson playing Lennon,
Yeah.
Paul Mescal as McCartney, and remember how Ridley Scott accidentally let that slip?
He did.
And then Barry Keoghan is going to be Ringo.
And Ringo joked about giving him some drum lessons.
Oh, that's great. And then we have Joseph Quinn playing George Harrison.
A great lineup.
They even quoted Suited Pepper at CinemaCon.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cool.
Okay, so the Beatles were only together for what, like 10 years?
Yeah, from 1960 to 1970.
Well, what a decade.
Talk about an intense and impactful 10 years.
Right. With this 4-film format, how do you think focusing on each member separately will change how we understand that decade? Do you think it might show us the band's internal dynamics and their creative processes in a way that just one movie couldn't?
It's a really interesting question. By giving each member their own film, we might get to see their struggles and aspirations in a much deeper way.
Oh, for sure.
And, we'll see how those individual paths both converged and diverged over time.
Totally.
Like, I'm particularly interested to see how a film focused on George Harrison might finally give him his due as a songwriter.
Right.
Because, he was often overshadowed by John and Paul. Yes, definitely. So the big takeaway here is that we're getting this massive, never-before-seen project about the Beatles, 4 films, full access, a talented cast.
It feels like a defining moment for how their story is told.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for our listeners, this is a huge opportunity. This isn't just another rehashing of the same old Beatles story.
No, not at all.
This is a chance to see them through 4 different lenses.
Yeah.
Which might just reveal some hidden depths and complexity.
Exactly.
So what do you think? What specific aspects of each Beatles' life will be the most interesting to explore on their own? And how will seeing all 4 films together maybe change how we understand the band as a whole? This is something I'm going to be thinking about a lot as we get closer to 2028. It's shaping up to be a historic experiment in storytelling.
Definitely one that I'm very much looking forward to.
Me too.
I think it's going to be fascinating.
All right, that's it for our deep dive today. We'll be back next week with a brand new topic.
Bye.